Good evening, Fernwood. It is your maestro of madness, Neil, and it's time for us to enter a fugue state with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 270 from April 15th, 1977, and yesterday left me with some bad feelings, so can we talk about it? Mary Hartman was drying the laundry in her own special way yesterday as Tom got home a little earlier than she expected. He was passing pressure onto her because he had to get out to his glorious Guardians of Good patrol, and was disappointed that he couldn't change into a properly dry shirt. Mary helped him dry as much as he could, but he was pretty peeved, and left in a huff with Mary wondering if he would get into trouble. We then smash over to Kathy's apartment where Mac is getting nursed by Martha and Kathy. Of course, Kathy's idea of nursing is somewhat different from Martha's, and includes taking swigs of something that looks like whiskey. Kathy remembers the late Howie Freeze, whose ashes she's looking to put in an urn this afternoon, and Martha says that the urn has been delivered from Spencer's Gifts. Kathy asks Martha to put Howie's ashes in the urn, which results in Martha spilling the ashes all over the floor and vacuuming them into a bag. Kathy asks Martha if she will forgive George and move back into the Shumway home, and Martha says that she's got too many things to take care of in Kathy's apartment, like Mac and Kathy, and, well, that's a bit much for Kathy. We don't hear what Dewey says to Mary Hartman in the factory break room as Vernon Bales interrupts them, and when he sees Vernon, Dewey rises and says it's time for a confrontation, and Mary steps away, perhaps out of earshot. Dewey knows what's going on with Vernon and the GGG, the clandestine white supremacist group that has been growing in Fernwood, because he read all of the research that Howie Freeze collected. Vernon has all the chips on his side and shows the menace that he is. And it's unclear whether Mary has heard any of what is going on in the room, but the two men have a standoff. Then over at the Jeter residence, Wanda gets the phone call from Dewey saying that he has all of Howie's research and also her diary, so she knows it's safe. And Merle comes home glad there's no more Lila in their space so they can focus attention on each other. However, Wanda has a different notion because she's holding on to Merle's coat. And Merle wonders what she's talking about, and what she's talking about is that the cleaners found a slip in Merle's coat pocket. And Merle tries to wheedle and cajole his way out of this scenario. But all the evidence is there that this slip doesn't belong to anyone but Mary Hartman. And as Merle gets more agitated, Wanda shuts him down and says that she's leaving. And then finally, in the Hartman bedroom, Tom and Mary seem as distant as they have been for a long time. Tom has been energized by the racist lies of Vernon Bales and the glorious Guardians of Good, and Martha really just wants no more violence to happen. As Tom is unloading his gun, he drops a bullet below the bed and then gets a call from Vernon, who says that he has found the weapons cache of the fictional Mad Bomber, and Tom goes to suit up to go back out with his GGG buddies, and Mary begs him to stay in and just hold her, and Tom says, "This is to protect you." And as I said yesterday, I was feeling a bit of dread, so I guess we just gotta open this box.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
You're making a big mistake, boy.
Don't call me no boy. And I ain't making no mistake. Either you stop doing what you're doing right now, or as old as I am, I'm gonna hurt you.
I'm not judging anybody. Just there been 2 bombings and a murder. I mean, you know.
Tom? Yeah. Tom, we found the militants' arsenal. The GGG Brotherhood's already on its way there.
Oh, wait a minute. What about the police?
No, the police will be there too. We'll be their deputies. Now listen, it's at the corner of Hidden Bay Road and Birch Bark.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Tom.
What?
Bring your gun. You might need it.
Tom, where are you going? Tom, what happened? Tom, where are you taking your gun to?
Hey, Mary, just look, do me a favor. Stay out of this, will you? Huh? This is the GGG.
I tell you, honey, these ribs, they weigh out top even your chicken fried steak.
Oh, baby boy, you are so sweet. Oh, looky here, I got BBQ sauce all over your little chin there. Darling, you know something?
What?
I like it a lot better on your cheek than I do on them ribs.
This is nice. You know, this is nice just sitting here at home alone of an evening.
Oh, I know.
Well, I tell you, the way this town is strung out crazy lately.
Really, and it is terrible shame. And that poor little old Howie. Do they know who done that yet?
I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. With the GGG organizing neighborhood patrols and investigating the murder and the bombings, everything's going to get flushed out in the open real soon. You mark me.
Yeah, I hope so.
Did I tell you something? Did I
What?
tell you that there's a rumor around town that Dewey did it all?
Dewey? Charlie, do you mean that sweet little janitor down at the plant? If that is not the most ridiculous, silly thing I've ever heard in all my
I
life.
find it kind of hard to believe. I really do. George and Vernon, they're convinced he's
Oh,
guilty.
that's crazy.
Mac agrees with me. Mac thinks that he ain't so sure.
Well, I know Tom doesn't think he's guilty.
Tom? I don't know what Tom thinks. Tom's acting crazy. You know, sometimes he's on Vernon's side. Sometimes he's on Mary's side and he thinks that Dewey's as white as the fallen snow. But he's just acting weird all the time anyway. He's very antsy. He's going around with carrying a .38 revolver loaded everywhere he goes. He claims he's going to kill the mad bomber when he finds him.
Oh, my gosh. And, of course, on top of all that, we've got a big old Bigfoot just about scaring us half out of our ever-loving minds.
Sweetheart, what in the world are you doing with the salad bowl?
Well, now, you know that Dr. Lee said don't be hostile to that critter.
Hostile, don't. Well, that's one thing, but you're encouraging him, honey. I should have known it. I should have known. I've known you too long not to know that. Here's this critter. He's keeping us half awake half the night, worrying ourselves sick. He's knocked over Tom's garbage can. He's ruined Merle's paint job on his garage. He's stomping in Martha's petunias. And what are you worrying about? You're worrying about whether the critter goes hungry.
Well, you know me, Charlie. I like to feed him instead of fight him. Anyway, I'll tell you something. If you ask me, it's a whole lot better to feed that monster than let him go eating up somebody off the street.
You think he wants some Jell-O for dessert?
Charlie?
Yeah.
Honey, did you take your leather sweater off the clothesline out there?
No?
Well, Charlie, it's gone. I hung it up there 30 minutes ago, and it's gone right now.
Oh, Lord. What would a monster want with a leather sweater anyway? I mean, it wouldn't even fit on his right arm.
Charlie, this is serious. Charlie,
Don't you worry, honey. Don't you worry here. Pappy's power here could stop a freight train with one shot. Now, I won't shoot unless he attacks, but if he puts one giant paw on your delicate and firm body, I'll let him have both barrels.
I think he's gone, Charlie. You know what? I bet he smelled the ammunition in this gun. Monsters is real smart that way.
I don't know, sweetheart. You know what? I think the only thing to do, the only safe thing to do is for you to go over there real careful. I'll count to 3, and you open the door.
Oh,
Real
Charlie,
sudden.
I don't want to do that stuff. No.
Wait.
Oh, Charlie.
1, 2, 3, now. Good Lord.
Honey, look. It's a little child. Charlie, the Lord brought us a little child. Look at him, honey.
That's Bigfoot?
Oh, honey, come on. Oh, bless his heart, Charlie. He hadn't had a bite to eat. And look, it don't look like he's had a bath in just ages. Well, darling, sugar, how are you, huh?
Loretta, this is weird. Oh, Lord, won't they leave a man in peace? Hello. Hi, Vernon. Hey, look, Vernon, you would not believe what just happened on our front doorstep. No. What? An emergency meeting. Now, Vernon. Oh, Lord. Honey, they found the hiding place of the Mad Bomber's bomb. Destroy it? Vernon, Vernon, let me ask you this. Is this real important?
Charlie, the entire future of Fernwood may be at stake. You've got to be there. Well, it's your sworn duty and responsibility as a brother in the GGG.
Okay. But you'll have to give me a few minutes.
Charlie, hon, this child is just the teensiest little bit strange acting, you know? I mean, he's kind of attacking that salad like he thought he was a puppy dog or something.
Sweetheart, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to go out.
Charlie, are you kidding?
Why won't they leave me in peace? Hello.
Charlie, Tom just rushed out of here in a very horrible mood, and he took his gun. I'm just so worried. He's never been like this before. I mean, I've seen him angry and everything, but I never saw him with a gun. Charlie, do you have any idea where he went? I mean, you gotta help me, Charlie. I'm telling you, he's in a very dangerous mood. I just know it. I can tell.
Now, Mary, calm down. Mary, just calm down, Mary. Tom's going to a GGG function. Yeah, and I'm going right there myself. I'm just on the way there myself.
Do you have a gun, too?
Yeah, well, actually, I do.
Oh, my God, Charlie. Can't you see? Fernwood is starting to sound like a military base.
Now, Mary, just calm down. I will see Tom. I will take care of him, and I promise you, I will get him home safe and sound, at home with you.
Okay.
Hon, I'm terrible sorry about this, but it's my duty, and I got to go.
Charlie, are you serious? I mean, honey, how can you go just when the Lord has deposited this darling, adorable child right on our doorstep to warm our hearts and help us through old age and everything? I mean, that's just, and you go running off like some kind of a wild man? No offense, hon.
Well, sweetheart, I don't see that I got any choice. It's very important to Fernwood. It's my duty. I tell you what, you feed him. You feed the little fella anything he wants. And if he gets tired, put him in bed in the guest room where Muriel slept, and I'll get acquainted in the morning if I'm too late when I come home. But I gotta go now, son. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Hey, Charlie.
Take care.
Well, I guess it's just the two of us, huh? We'll just have this little chance to, you know, get acquainted. Gosh, the way you're going after that salad, it just seems like you're real hungry. But, you know, hon, I bet you that's a little bit dry. Why don't you have some wishbone Italian or how about a little chunky blue cheese? Here. Why don't I just Hon, I don't mean to tell you what to do, just, you know, on your first night here or nothing, but I'll tell you something, growling isn't real polite, you know. So, what's your name? Really? Where did you live? Sounds kind of like Cleveland accent. Charlie? Well, how about a little nursery rhyme or lullaby or a little hymnal or something? Shepherd, show me how to go o'er the hillside steep, how to gather, how to sow, how to feed thy sheep. I will listen for thy voice, lest thy footsteps stray. follow and rejoice.
Ed McMahon. Now there's a real Clydesdale. Oh, Bigfoot. All right, you picked the wrong house to knock tonight. Come in, you mangy monster, with your hairs up. I'll blow you right back to communist Russia.
Oh! That's a gun.
Of course it's a gun, Mary.
Oh, Daddy.
People are going crackers around here, running around in the middle of the night. I need a gun for protection.
I know, but you can't do that to Heather. I mean, look at her. She's frightened enough as it is. Oh, my God. She's in a coma. Oh, Daddy, listen. You have got to help me out. Tom is in tremendous trouble, and you're the only one who can stop this. I'm telling you. Right now, he is in above his head. I'm telling you. He doesn't know how to handle what he's in. You've got to help me.
Mary, you always worry too much.
No, Daddy, I'm telling you. I mean, really, this is different than it ever was before. I mean, I've seen him in distress. I've seen him under strain. I've seen him when he was drunk. I mean, this is a different kind of thing. It's very different. I've seen him get into every kind of difficult thing you can imagine, but this one, he could really get dangerous, and I'm not kidding, really dangerous, because this time he has a gun, Daddy. He has a gun.
Well, Mary, everybody should have a gun. Look, it's like a security blanket. It's something to keep you warm at night. Now, will you relax? You can sleep overnight here, and I'll make you a nice cup of soup, huh?
Look, I am grown up now, and I really do know when something is wrong. And all I can tell you is that I don't know how you can just sit there and not go out and help a man when he's about to do something he's going to regret for the whole rest of his life.
Mary, you are grown up, and so is Tom. Now, I can't go and put him on curfew. I can't go and run him down like a runaway teenager. I'm sorry, Heather. A man has got to get to the time where he accepts the responsibility of his actions.
Yeah.
Hello? Who? Oh, Vernon. Like in GGG?
Listen, George, listen, I'm rounding up the GG brothers for a raid on the militant arsenal. This is a red alert emergency. Are you prepared, George?
Am I prepared? I got my finger on the trigger. But are you sure this is necessary?
It's more than necessary. It is absolutely imperative. The GGG brothers have got to stand up and be counted. Now listen, Tom and Charlie are already on their way there. At last, we're going to be able to prove our worth to the whole community.
I'll be right over.
That's the spirit, George. The spirit of America reborn. The spirit of 76.
I'll be there with muumuus on. All right, Mary. America is about to be reborn, and Tom is in the waiting room.
Daddy, you can't go.
What are you talking about, Mary? First you want me to go and find Tom. Now I'm going to join him. Now you want me to stay home.
No, Daddy, you cannot add to that mob.
Mob? Oh, Mary, mob. Let me tell you something. The GGG is a bunch of dedicated, fraternal brothers, clean living...
Don't go! You are to stay here, and you are to protect your family. Your family comes first. Haven't you ever seen The Godfather?
What are you doing? Grandpa, what's she doing with that gun?
She's pointing it at us. Mary, give me the gun.
First, you tell Heather that everything's going to be okay.
Oh.
Tell her.
Mary, please put down the gun. Oh. All right. Now listen. I don't want you two to worry anymore. No, sir. Your old daddy's going to make sure that you're all okay. You're all safe and sound with your old daddy.
Thanks, Daddy.
Hey, Vernon! Vernon! Mac! Charlie! Hey, Vernon! Where are you guys? Vernon!
Brother Hartman!
Yeah, come on, over here.
We're coming.
Listen, where is everybody? Where are the other guys, huh?
They're on their way.
What's going on here? I mean, what'd you do? You woke me up in the middle of the night? What, to take a walk in the woods?
Tom,
Huh?
we've got some very important business to do tonight.
Yeah, like get rid of the sickies.
Where? I don't see anything here, huh? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, where's this arsenal you were talking about, huh?
Right over there, Tom.
Where?
There.
What, you mean that? Oh, come on. You mean that little shack? Come on, Vernon. There couldn't possibly be an arsenal in that little shack.
Tom, we are dealing with a very clever brand of militants.
Yeah, but where are the other guys, huh? Where
They're on their way. But the time to act is now. Now, the black militant crazies left about an hour ago, so we've got to set fire to the shack before they get back.
Wait a minute. What do you mean set fire? We burn something. Wait a minute. I thought this was going to be a community action. You don't burn down shacks in the middle of the night. Now, listen, why can't we call the police department and the fire department?
Tom, they don't play by the rules. Why should we? Well, that's why I had to call out the midget SWAT team to save Mary when they tried to blow her up.
Tom, don't you think that we know what the hell we're doing? Man, there is enough weapons in that tiny little old shack to blow Ohio off the face of the map.
Yes, we've got to get rid of Dewey and his militant brothers before they take control of Fernwood.
Control? What do you mean control? Who'd want to control Fernwood?
Well, if they can get control of Fernwood, well, then who knows? Cincinnati, New York, Los Angeles, and then the world. Thank you, Texas.
I can't believe it. I mean, who'd want to take over Fernwood?
Rape and pillage are as old as time itself, Tom.
Why would anybody want to rape Fernman? I mean, why not Dayton, maybe?
Oh, Tom, look at all of the things that have happened. Well, the robbery and the threats and the murder of Howie Freeze. These people don't stop at one murder. No, we've got to protect the lives of every man, woman, and child in America.
Think of Mary, Tom.
Yes, and think of Heather, Tom.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want me to do?
Light the torches, Texas. This is our great moment, Tom. Lead on with Texas for decency.
Yeah.
I'll stay here and wait for the others.
Yeah, this is really strange. Hey, wait a minute. Look, there's a light. See it? Look at that. Stop him. Hey, Texas, stop, will you? Hey, come on, stop him, will you, Vernon? Come on, he's starting to burn the place down. Hey, come on, Texas! There's somebody in there, there's a human being in there!
Tom, it's too late. The wheel of decency has already started
What the hell
to
are you
burn.
talking about? What are you talking about? Decency? We don't go around burning down places. This is not Salem. It's not a witch hunt. Come on, stop him! Texas!
Texas is going to save Fernwood!
What the hell are you talking about?
We are all going to save Fernwood!
Come on, Vernon, you gotta stop him!
Tom,
you guys are murdering my
listen
money!
to me!
Yeah, what?
Ow. Well, that's all I had to say.
What the hell happened here?
Oh, Brother Hartman didn't behave just exactly as we thought he would.
But as for our old friend Dewey, GGG can mark this mission accomplished.
It's a lovely fire.
Tex and Vernon told us exactly who they are months ago. So after a brief overview of the events of yesterday's episode, we go over to the Haggers, who are also for themselves recounting what's going on. And what is interesting is that Charlie recognizes that within the GGG, not everyone believes what Vernon is saying. And that's a relief. For me, that's a relief to know that not everyone is completely buying into it, even though, they're still gonna go be activated. And they note that Charlie's letter sweater is missing, and, well, it ends up on a feral child who is outside. That is a little bit of a conflict for Loretta and Charlie, because Charlie gets the call to go out to this house burning. Loretta wants to take care of the child. And I feel like in each of the scenes, it's about the should I stay or should I go of the men of the house. But Loretta stays with this feral child who doesn't really have any words. It's a feral child. It shouldn't be able to speak much. And we see that presence outside, which I will assume is the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the Yeti. And then we go next door to the Shumways, where George is just trying to have a quiet time, and he is a little bit activated because of the monster. Again, that's one of the potential threats of the town. And Mary comes over having the most heightened anxiety and crisis that I feel like I've seen her in, and that was even in the previous scene, to the extent where when George gets the call to go out to this GGG violence, the mob, Mary pulls the gun on George and Heather. She puts it down eventually, but that is some stakes getting raised. And George assures Mary that everything's going to be okay, but as we see in the next scene, it's not going to be okay. And we start there in the woods with Tom wondering where folks are. And it comes down to it, exactly what is happening, which we knew, was that Vernon and Tex really just want to end Dewey. And in this case, that means burning down his shack. Maybe not the most flattering portrait to have the one black man in Fernwood living in a shack. In any case, Vernon is completely fueling this lie. He's the only source of it, other than Tex, that says that this militant black group is in town and that Dewey could be the mad bomber. And Tom, in this case, we see Tom's humanity say, wait, we don't burn down houses with people in them. And this is the point that Vernon knocks him to the ground. Perhaps knocks him out. And I'm not sure, I believe that this would be the case, that Vernon and Tex, Vernon famously likes other people to do his work for him, but it seems like Vernon and Tex are just gonna leave Tom there to take the fall for burning down this shack. That's where this episode ends. We've got just a couple of beats today, a couple major beats. We have the monster and we have this awful, awful crime. So yeah, next week we've got a few different milestones coming up, and I can say only that I am exiting this week with trepidation. So thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions down in the comments. Thank you so much for entering a fugue state, and we will see you next week in Fernwood.